Welcome back. Today we're on chapter 27. Chapter 27. I find myself searching for the good of this time period. I wish I had at least one happy story to float away to, so that I'm not bombarding you, dear reader, with gloom-ridden narratives. But I'm having a hard time. Everything outside of me was falling apart. Everything was simultaneously building, then collapsing into a day, 1 year away, that would change things irrevocably. Everything was crumbling. Everything but me. I couldn't see that at the time. This is why I write, to attempt to understand things that don't make sense. I write to see. How? I'm not sure. The pain of it all was still poignantly there, but I stayed put. I stayed with the pain. I let it come as many times as it wanted, and I was glad to let it go when it wanted to leave. By no virtue of mine, I should add. The monster in me would much prefer burning it all down, drinking and getting high and running away and not caring about anyone or anything. But I just can't anymore. I have meaningful responsibilities now. I guess that's the good. When evil touches you, the world feels different. But like Betsy always said, which used to make me so mad, feelings aren't facts. It may have felt dark, but I lived each day with the deep knowing I had gained a few years prior. The sun is shining, even when you can't see it. Knowing that the light was there too, somewhere, was helpful. It was helpful to turn towards it. It may sound very out there, but it's more tangible than not. And though things seem bleak, still we must seek. I turn towards the light or dark through my actions every day with each decision I make. Maybe it's most beneficial to acknowledge the things that take me further from the light, good, truth. I.e., even when I don't know what to do, I always know what not to do. And as long as I keep not doing the things that I know to be wrong for me, I automatically open doors to things that could be good for me. And if something's actually good for me, it's naturally good for everyone around me. The highest good, the highest truth, even in spite of myself. I have caused enough suffering. When I hurt others, I hurt myself. When I hurt myself, I hurt others. Every single time. Without fail. It's just that way. It's a universal thing that makes sense, doesn't it? It's actually logical. Call it karma or whatever you want. It just is. How else could we learn? I have suffered enough by my own hands, and I'm unwilling to pay that price anymore. And I don't want to be the cause for any more pain outside of me either, so long as I can help it. Unwilling to participate in any game that takes me down that road again. Unwilling. Though this 3D life is finite, I'm playing for the infinite team. Even my relationship, our love was falling apart. To put it plainly, we sucked at our own relationship. We had this gift, this love that was so big that I swear, our love alone could have saved this whole world. It contained within it, somewhere, the answer to every haunting question in existence. I just know it. It was true. A true, literal love at the core, but we would fail it again. At least that's how it would appear. Though, as a disguised Jafar told Aladdin, things aren't always what they seem. I was particularly aware now of life through my daughter's eyes, especially as it pertains to the way women are to be treated by men. Naturally, that starts with me. As her mother, I will be the standard and the example for her, for better or for worse. My love was starting his final year of school. It was going to be a hard time for everyone. We anticipated this and talked about it numerous times. I can hear his voice in my head now. Love, this is going to be really hard, but we can do it. We'll just get through it. We won't break up no matter what. No matter how hard it gets, we're not breaking up. Okay, my dear. I believed him. I was worried, though. I was worried about him. Alcoholic to alcoholic, addict to addict. The worry was more on the mild side then, though, as my daughter had nearly all my attention. The only thing I really knew for sure was that if I kept making regular attendance at meetings, I would be all right. His children were on their devices every waking hour when I was around them. I wish I was exaggerating, but I'm not. That was scary to me for obvious reasons. And when my daughter was around, she would feel left out since she no longer had a device. My love and I had many conversations about our kids and technology. We had even seen with our own eyes the way they would flourish without it. So I was surprised that this was a sacrifice he was willing to make. He had to focus on school and building his career. Therefore, his kids would be raised by their iPads for the time being. It made me uneasy deep down, but he was so sure of his path and so fucking stubborn, too. Yes, it's the pot calling the kettle black. I used to hear all the time in AA, there's nobody too dumb to get sober, but there are many who are too smart. There is danger in thinking that I know everything and making myself important in an egoic way. All the knowledge in the world proves useless without some humility, some understanding that as a human, I'm fallible. What good is talking the talk if I'm not walking the walk? When I start lying to myself, not listening to others, and not wanting to help or be helped, warning. Honesty, open-mindedness, willingness comprise the ideal attitude. Thank you, Alcoholics Anonymous. Most things external to me felt hopeless. My job was a lot. As a single mom, my daughter was in before school care, after school care. She was away from me more than she was with me, and that didn't sit right with my soul anymore. She needed me more. I needed me more. I was yearning for a life that I loved, where my child was safe and generally loving life too, the way I thought a kid should live. I was beginning to become disillusioned with my relationship as well. We had been on one date in 1 year, and when he found time, it wasn't who he gave it to. When I would bring it up, I would leave the conversation feeling worthy of a straitjacket. We had something really great in theory, but in real life, I felt very much alone. And even though he had all the right words and all the best intentions, I think so anyway, a colossal disconnect was coming about. Not all at once, though. It came in fairly manageable waves then, but steady building, tsunami style. I was going through the motions of what I thought I was supposed to do, but was perpetually, quietly asking, God, are you there? At one point, there was a chance that my daughter's case would go to trial, and we would have to travel to Idaho. Though this was quite the daunting prospect, a dream did emerge. On our way home after the trial, we would stop somewhere in Montana where we could ride horses and gaze in awe at the big starry sky and vast mountains. Montana. There was something about her, and she just kept calling me. This dream kept me going. A dream to symbolize the end of that chapter in our lives and the beginning of a new one. What that new one would be, I had no way of knowing then. Nonetheless, something in me was stirring. Chapter 27. It's a pretty straightforward one. I feel not a whole lot to say. It was a kind of a weird time of crossing a bridge to somewhere else, or like a purgatory, kind of. And that's like a space that, like that kind of uncertainty is uncomfortable. And they say, you know, aim to be okay with uncertainty. Aim to find comfort there. And it's a faith testing time when you don't know where you're going or what's going to happen or what to do, what's right, what's up or down. You just keep going. Somehow knowing that I was going to be okay made all the difference in keeping one foot in front of the other. So that's really all. Thank you for listening to chapter 27, and we'll be back next week with chapter 28. Bye, guys. Thank you.